Hey everyone, this is episode 502 of the OotiniCast. That sounds good. And this is being recorded on the 27th of November, 2024. And we're going to get going here in just a moment. We are, let's see. I'm going to try to post this if I can, let people know that we're live and all that.
Oh yeah, did you check out, what's it called, Blue Sky?
Yes. I've got
it's awesome.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And I've got I do have an OotiniCast account there, as well as a cryptobiography one.
Nice. Yeah, I made one too today. Or yesterday? I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I saw that. I actually just followed you. I found it while I was doing my final pass on the show notes. So I've followed you on, I think, both accounts. If I haven't, let me know.
Cool, baby.
But yeah, it's really nice. It seems it's growing by leaps and bounds. And unfortunately, I can't do polls yet on it. There's no poll function. So for now, I have to stick to X and Mastodon. But if someone doesn't like Twitter or doesn't use Twitter, but they use Mastodon, I'm still putting the polls up there. Cool. Typically, though, they only get a few votes, so it rarely moves the needle on things. So I just report. Yeah. At least as of right now, I'm still just reporting the Twitch one.
Hopefully that changes.
Yeah, I would love
people
that.
Start going over there.
I would love that.
Yeah, I'm still on Twitter too, but I would love it's It's
very toxic, yeah.
Yeah, it's just full of a bunch of buttholes.
Yeah, exactly. It's unfortunate. It wasn't always
little
like that.
Wiener energy is what I call it.
All right. Well, I did send it out. Did you? I assume you got that? Okay, great. I
got it. Sent it out as well.
Then I guess we're ready. Are you all ready to go? I'm ready to go.
Ready.
All right. Let me have a little water, and we'll see if I choke or not. Also, my cam is focused on something weird. There we go. Probably just because I was, leaning over and stuff, doing other thing. Like
we all know you were doing your Buffalo Bill dance before you came on.
Was the Horses song, whatever it is? Yeah.
Well, I forget what song it is. That's just the visualization I'll never get out of my head.
Awesome. Thanks, Quirkus. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, 500 was pretty amazing to get to. Yeah, and so lots of stuff to talk about today. We'll get the official podcast going here in just a sec.
Yeah, I'm gonna close my door.
I need to okay, you do that. I'm cleaning my glasses because something got on it just now. I'm not sure what. And yeah, but it was really fun. Okay. Yeah, let's get going. Going in 5. Hi, and welcome to the OotiniCast. We are not cute, we are deadly. This is episode 502, being recorded on Wednesday, November 27th, 2024. Do you recognize that one, Kitty?
I don't.
It's a SWTOR one. Yeah. It's my camera's still fuzzing out on me here. Let me just turn it off real briefly here. I'll just redo it here. Okay, hang on a second.
All I can think of is Nibbler, the Nibbler Society. We are not cute. We are a fierce society.
It is a little like that. Yeah, it's from the Inquisitor line. I think I can't remember exactly when it is, but it's pretty early on. I think it's someone basically is talking down to you, and then you say, "We're not cute. We are deadly." I don't know what the hell my webcam is focusing on, but it doesn't seem to be focused on it. It's not focused on the background. It's not focused on this, and it's not focused on me, and it's not even focused over here. It's like, what the hell are you... Okay, it's focused 2 inches in front of the camera, apparently. Why is it...
Put your hand over it for a second, completely over the lens. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that seemed to help.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. We will restart this. So actually, let me do a couple claps. This might be a little loud. Sorry. It's just so I can see it on the audio track a little easier. All right, going in 5. And there's a reason for doing the an Inquisitor quote. So we'll get that. We'll get to that later, though. All right, going in 5. Hi, and welcome to the OotiniCast. We are not cute, we are deadly. This is episode 502, being recorded on Wednesday, November 27th, 2024. I'm your host, Jill, and with me is my co-host, KittyKissz. Hey, Kitty.
Hey, Jill.
And let's see, so what you been up to since the big 500/501 episode last time?
Well, I've been playing my sniper,
Okay.
QT McWhiskers.
Nice.
We got to 80. We finished all the vanilla story. We are in the chapters. We just got to Kotet, but I think I'm going to get a couple companions before I go into that. Maybe just, goof around, run a couple flashpoints before we go into that second part.
Yeah,
It's been fun.
Yeah, I saw Cutie the other day when I was checking out your stream, and I had a cool look to her. I liked the armor that she was wearing at the time, although I know you do a lot of armor switching. And was she a trooper, or what class is she?
She's sniper.
Sniper.
She was. I went through the agent story.
But the agent. Okay, agent. Okay.
Sniper, and then the sniper stealth. I forgot which that is. My brain is not.
Was I mistaken,
today.
or did you make her fur is as dark as possible? It looked like.
Yeah, I made the fur dark, but I gave her bright eyes. The reason I wanted to do that is because a lot of that, the armor that you get for. Kind of sneaking around and kind of the agent feel that I wanted for her was to have her face covered. She's in all black except red cat eyes.
That's cool.
And
I like that.
Yeah, people have said a lot of like, hey, what is that? What is that?
How'd you get that look?
Yeah. And I guess it worked really well.
It's
people
very
like
striking.
Yeah. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun. And then now with with some of the complimentary, well, I guess they're not complimentary. Some of the die packs you get out of the packs that are coming out with, the mount, the game time, the cartel coins. Those have been really fun. And those, a lot of times that red primary will dye really dark red, almost a black.
Right. Depending on which armor it is.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't know if
sometimes it'll have a red hue too.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be really dark, but the shininess will be red, sort of.
Yeah.
It's very bizarre. I don't know
if that's really cool.
I don't know if that's technically a bug and that it'll get fixed at some point, or if it's actually meant that way. But so who knows? Maybe you go in one time, it's like, whoa, all my stuff is bright red now all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks cool either way. And as long as you're okay with it, then, and as long as it actually matches the preview, which it does, you can kind of live with it. And then of course, sometimes it actually is bright red as well. So
yeah. And then you'll put it on a different outfit and it'll be definitely a lot brighter.
Right.
It's like a dark red or a red black almost, but it works. It's cool.
It doesn't seem to happen with the yellow dye that I've seen, at least. It doesn't go super dark.
I haven't noticed that either.
Yellow dye, with yellow sheen or anything. And we'll talk more about that during the Mind Trap, because that was the subject of the Mind Trap poll.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So playing her, really liking the character, really liking Sniper. I forget what I'm playing, the dot spec. I forget what it's called.
Lethality?
And I am,
Lethality, I believe.
Lethality? No, it's not lethality.
Okay.
It's
or is it virulence?
Virulence, that's
virulence,
it. Yeah. I am loving it. I think it is my favorite ranged spec right now, which works out perfectly because I made the mirror for our PvP characters, but as a gunslinger. So I can't wait to get in there and start playing that.
Yeah.
But just having a lot of fun with her, getting through coffee, and now we're going to be into Kotet. And then next I'm going to make a Madness Sork, because I haven't played Sork in a long time. So I thought I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, I like that spec. And you definitely, it's one of those specs that has a choice. I think it's the level 27 one where you can strip the dots off with
explode them.
Yeah, would project on one side, and then it's like, energy. I think it's called just shock on the other side. Yeah, and whether you choose that or not really changes how you play the character.
Oh, cool.
So it makes it fun. I always like when a choice will really like alter like how you play a character.
Yeah,
I really like
the playability and stuff.
Yeah,
and I have never played Madness, so I'm looking forward to it. That'll be cool. What else? I went on to Starforge. Speaking of PvP, I went on to Starforge server and made sure that my character's all ready to go. She's got all the crap she needs.
Nice. Yeah.
She's got all of her companion skills and stuff. I've got the companions leveled up so that I can be sending them out and all that good stuff. So she's ready for the 10th? Question mark?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that too. But yeah, that is the projected date for 7.6 to drop.
Yeah.
And we'll, and obviously it's happened once or twice, not often, but usually once they give sort of a projected date, it usually does come out on that date. But once in a while, it has happened where if there's going to be a game-breaking bug and they find it at the last minute, they have delayed it occasionally. But usually once they give you a date, it's it's pretty solid. Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, whatever. But I wanted to be sure I'm ready because I really want the bird armor. That's what people have been calling it.
Okay.
The chicken armor for the PvP. It's got these luminescence, like a bioluminescent
sort of
feathers on
it. Yeah.
And I want to do the chicken dance, and
we should be able to get that for you. We're going to be getting that for sure.
We're going to be. I can't wait.
I've got my Smurf character ready. I think, and I haven't heard from Lady Melunia for a bit, but the plan was she was going to join us. If not, it'll be the two of us. And
I'm pretty sure she's still in.
Great,
because
she's probably just waiting for 7.6 to drop. Okay, great. Yeah. And then we will. I believe we're all bounty hunters is the other part of it.
Yeah,
and so we're all ready to go. And we'll just, level up whatever, between war zones and arenas and all that. That'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. This is going to be my third. So I will have tried skank tanking on all the different specs after this character. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
So he's going to be a bounty hunter, power tech, tank, but I'm going to have skank tank gear. So shield only. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And this will be on Starforge. So yeah.
Yes.
So looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's going to be really fun. I did end up buying a bunch of dies. I was buying because they're on sale for 50% off on the cartel market. And
you're a lot of points at the moment.
Well, I bought the pack, so I've got points.
You've got a lot to spend. Yep.
And I only buy like the cheap ones, and they're on sale, so it's only like 150 cartel coins.
I know I know exactly what you're talking about, and I was thinking of that too. And it's like, the problem is I don't plan ahead that many characters, so I don't know what I'm going to be using, and you know what I mean. It's like I could buy a bunch and use them eventually. I'm sure, but yeah, I just didn't pull the trigger on that particular. But I was thinking about doing the same exact thing, and I get it. Yeah. I did actually buy some of the decos that were on sale. There's a lot of really good decos on sale.
Yeah, I bought a couple decos too.
Yeah.
They're only 10.
Some of them are as low as 10. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
one was
so I had to buy a couple of those.
8 cartel coins. Yeah, it was crazy.
I did buy a couple of
Jarek table, I think
tables.
It was 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got some of those.
One of, I just bought one of each.
Got a Colto thing. But
I actually did buy the Narshadas sign bundle. And that was really fun to go through.
Oh, yeah. I bought that, too, when it was on sale. I've got a bunch sitting around. I'm like, I can sell them or I can use them.
I put them all up on the stream and just we could see what they looked like and stuff like that. And there's a lot of really cool ones. And, of course, it brightens up any stronghold you're in. But it's, of course, especially good for the Narshada one or maybe the Mekshah one as well. It has a sort of hollow sign look as well.
Yeah,
there.
I put him in I made my Alderaan stronghold a club, like a band venue, and it's got
so you've got like the dance floors and all that
all over the place. It looks really cool.
So yeah, like band members and dance floors and
it's got a band going. There's people dancing.
Right, people dancing. Yeah. That's cool.
It looks live in there, man. There's there's all kinds of crazy creatures. Which reminds me, the reason I said crazy creatures, and I don't think anybody got that reference, but the first Star Wars A New Hope trailer had the announcer going, it's a time in space with blah, blah, and full of alien creatures. And it sounded so dumb and funny. I was like, I just laughed. We went to a trailer. They had taken a bunch of trailers and ran them for an hour and a half. Old movies and stuff like that.
Oh, fun, yeah.
It was on there. And
those old trailers, they were trying all kinds of things back then.
A galaxy of alien creatures. But I've been buying packs in order to put on my Bound to Legacy equipment. The packs that I want on for that, because I can share them with all my characters. So
right. You do so many outfits that it makes sense to have them like that. Yeah. For me, it's like I'm always making one look usually. Sometimes if there's a cosplay that, more than one look would fit, I do make more than one, but usually I'm going for one particular look, and as I hone in on that. So yeah, I'm not doing a lot of the sharing thing like that. That makes sense though for the Nightmare Barbie. So
yeah,
beyond hardcore Barbie, it's all the way to Nightmare Barbie.
I think I've bought like 12 packs. Like I bought a lot. That's a lot for me. Anyway, then getting ready for Thanksgiving.
Right.
And I've got everything ready. I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I usually wake up about 5 a.m. and just start getting it going. And then I'm going to be streaming all day. So if anybody wants to come hang out, I'll be there.
Whoop, whoop.
But I will pass the talk baton, the conch, if you will, on to you, Chill.
Okay. All right. First, saying hi to the folks who are here. 152 Domino 24 is here. Cheryl Mercury's here. Cormac Doyle's here. Hey, Cormac. Floridan Tenor is here. Kitty Treats is in here. Lisa Late Bloomer 9-year. Quanex Quercus, Squishy Twitchy, and Starry Saber. Hey, everyone. Thanks for coming by. And partly what I did is like try to make sure I kept up with all the follow-up from episode 500. We had a lot of people said a lot of nice things about, the interview, and some, wondering like why we didn't talk about this or that. What can I say except, we kind of have to focus on, we have to kind of focus when we're doing these interviews, and we can't just broad range it, because it would be a nightmare to edit and to whittle down and all that sort of thing. But anyway, thanks again to Jackie and Eric and Keith.
Definitely.
It was a lot of fun to do that. And we did get a lot of good responses too, so I really appreciate that. Let's see. And what else I've been doing? Well, I'm still working on Ripley from Aliens cosplay. She's a trooper as a commando healer. I haven't done commando healing in a long time. She's basically done. So I went all the way through the class story, doing the class story, the world arcs, and all the side missions that I ran into, which is most all of them, like mostly. But when I got done with the class story, she was not quite level 80, so I decided to go back, and now we're working through the bonus series. So there are 8 bonus series on each side, and so there's basically like not one for the first planet, like Hutta and all that, and there's not one for the capital worlds, so like Coruscant and Kos, but then there's one for every other planet through the end of the class story, except for 2. For Quesh, no bonus series on Quesh, and then there's no bonus series on Corellia, the last planet. But every other planet has a bonus series, and we're about halfway done with them. So, and she's very close to 80. doesn't really matter. I'm just enjoying seeing all the things. Now these bonus series also have a bunch of side missions associated with them. Once in a while they're already unlocked, and I just didn't see them because the class story didn't take me anywhere near those areas. But a lot of them actually do unlock as you do the bonus series as well. So there's quite a bit to do on each planet. Some of them have been like 2 hours worth of material, like a lot of stuff. Some of them are like nothing less than an hour. I think it's more like an hour and a half.
Right.
Yeah, and there's some that I haven't seen yet. So, and the nice thing is, like, because even back in the day when you needed a lot of experience to level up, I really didn't do the bonus series. Like, they were there and I knew about them, but once I had done so much on a planet, and I was doing like the side missions and stuff back then, I was done with that planet. I was like ready to move on. Like, please get me to some other place. So I would often just like not do these bonus series. And I'm going back to these, and like, I'm sure I've seen some of them at one point. Like, some of them seem vaguely familiar, but like, I'm seeing missions that I haven't seen in ages, and I'm sure there's some that I've never done before, which is really cool. Yeah, so I'm really actually enjoying it, and cool. Get to see a lot of interesting story arcs that I didn't remember were even there and stuff like that. It was really cool. Yeah, and like the other day we're on Alderaan, and like there's this whole thing where you have to go in, it's Kingmaker, King something pieces that you're picking up in order to like make sure that the Empire doesn't have access to them. It's like some sort of advanced weaponry thing, one of those sort of stories. And it takes you into this whole like base thing that I did not recognize at all. It's like, wow, this is really big too. It's like, wow, I don't remember being here at all. I mean, I've probably been in there at some point, maybe, I don't know, but the mission didn't seem familiar, and it's like, it was really nice, like all this new stuff. So it's amazing how much story is available in this game. So Ripley's just about done. Even though she's going to ding 80, I'm going to go all the way through and get all the bonus series done. So she'll ding 80, before Belsavis, I'm sure, but or probably even before Hoth. But I'll keep doing it, and I'll do Hoth and Belsavis and Voss, and I'll get them all done. Right. So yeah, as I wanted to see the same thing on the Empire side, I started a new character, and we're starting to do the same thing over there. So I made a Caitlin from Arcane. So Arcane's sort of a big thing right now, and it's a very good series on Netflix. Did a cosplay up as her, so she's a sniper and on the agent story, which, in this case it actually makes sense because Caitlin is sort of like, she's with the government of Piltover. She's the sheriff. At one point at least, and so it makes sense that the agent story would be the most appropriate. So I didn't try to mix that one up or anything. And I may go back and do the bonus series at the end, but I'm kind of thinking I'll just go ahead and stick with it and just finish the bonus. Like, when I'm done with the planet, go back and do the bonus series right then. And that way, hopefully I can, I'll just have done all of them that way. It doesn't really matter. Either way, I think the leveling is going to be about the same. And I'm also making her a direct damage dealer, not only because it's most accurate for the cosplay, but also because on the test server we've been doing the boss, and so I switched over to the direct damage spec, and so with Caitlin being the same spec, I can sort of like play around a little bit. Because when I'm doing the operation spec, I'm kind of locked into one set of choices that are like best for that sort of fighting. And this way I'll get to play around some more. I mean, I could obviously like make other specs on that character and, play around that way. But it'll be fun to just do this while she's leveling. So, try some of the AoE stuff and some of the other things that I won't get to choose otherwise. And that's been a lot of fun. She's very early on, but she's like, I think level 20 and like halfway through Drum Cost. It's like, yeah, and I think she's actually a little higher than that. And she still has, like, she's barely done with the Revenites and like that area.
Oh, right.
So we haven't even gotten like, to the west and to the Dark Temple at all or anything like that. So there's a lot more to go. She'll probably, that's right, she got to level 23 today, actually. So yeah, she's at least level 23 because she got the first choice. So we're going to, in this case, we're going to take the thing where you get the splash damage. So get some splash damage, which you don't get to choose on the operation one normally. The reason I switched my spec, because I actually do like the virulence spec as well. I love that spec.
It's fun.
I was on the virulence, but on that fight, in that particular fight on Ilum, it's very difficult to do because there's a lot of ads and a lot of target switching, and it's really difficult to get enough damage on the dot spec. So I'm switching over to the damage spec specifically for that, and then I'll have both available because really the tactical is the only thing that changes gear-wise, or at least the only thing it has to change. You can fuss with the numbers if you need to, but I don't really feel it's necessary. So it's mostly just the tactical and then having the spec. And this way I'm also practicing, this new spec and working on that. It's been a lot of fun. And yeah, so I think that'll bring us to the tip of the week. And my tip is just related to this whole leveling thing. So if you do all the class stories, world arcs, and side missions that you find, but not heroics, and no flashpoints or anything else, you'll be very close to 80 when you complete the class story. This is assuming that you're in a guild, that you're using the XP boost that you get, and that you're a subscriber. The gear won't really matter. Like, you'll be so heavily over leveled that you're bound to have some gear that's better than the way leveled down level that you're at. Like, I was finding that I was upgrading this gear, and it's like, why am I doing this? Because I'd be like have level 38 gear, I'd get to level 42 and be like, okay, now I can go to the vendor and get 42 gear, but I'm still in like a level 28 area or a level 30 area. Like, why am I upgrading it when my gear is higher level than this ranked down level that I'm going down to? It doesn't make any sense. So you don't really need to worry about gear because you're going to get good enough gear. Even if it gets a little iffy at some points, like once you get over level 50, you'll start to get these sort of level appropriate drops out all of a sudden. Yeah, it'll start giving you gear that's actually decent for your level, and you're gonna it's gonna be great. Then you'll also get level appropriate gear anyway once a week from Conquest, and a box every time you finish one of the acts. So between that and being wildly over leveled, if you do decide to level this way and sort of see all these little side missions, gear is super easy. Like it's ridiculously,
It is.
And then when you do it, and you can check the numbers when you're being ranked down in these areas and you upgrade the gear, it does nothing. Like, it doesn't change the numbers at all. So yeah, just make sure you have the appropriate accuracy, and then after that it's just like whatever, it's good to go.
It's funny. I will always gear up no matter what planet I'm on. I just do it automatically.
Yeah. And this does assume you're doing solo stuff only. Because if I was going to Warzone and stuff and my gear was kind of hinky jinky, then it's no bueno. So
excuse me, sorry.
Absolutely. No worries. So if you have a tip, send it to OotiniCast@gmail.com before the next show. A chance to win a Tonfon M8 3R droid or M2B9 droid and a 450cc code, all courtesy of Broadsword. And that'll bring us to the Mind Trap. Yeah, so the Mind Trap question was, are you going to get the Master of the Fight Starbolt Edition SWTOR bundle? And so we had 4 different options because there was also the Firebolt version earlier. And one is yes, and I also got the Firebolt. Yes, but I missed the Firebolt. No, but I got this Firebolt, and no, and I didn't get the Firebolt either. Not a ton of voting here, which I think tells me there wasn't all that much interest in the subject, which is fair. Some subjects get more votes than others. And it's a little.
I was just curious.
Yeah, I'm curious, and I was curious too. No, and no Firebolt either was the runaway winner with 62% of the vote. Only 66 votes though, so it's the law of large numbers maybe doesn't apply so much. But this is such a win that it's clearly going to be the winner almost no matter what.
A landslide.
However, interestingly, no and no Firebolt was 62%, but second place was yes and got the Firebolt. So. The second place was actually getting both bundles, 19.7%. And then tied was yes, missed the Firebolt, or no, but got got the firebolt. So
That's
got
funny.
one but not the other. Each got 9.1% of the vote. So there you go.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Like,
And Cal from
rarely do we get the same number,
right,
the same
and
percentage.
exactly. And I know that you got both. I got both as well.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually talking with the guild on the stream. It's like, and I'm very much a sort of weirdly cheap about myself, so I have to have like some excuse to spend this sort of money on stuff. And
Right.
you know, the excuse, of course, was that it's good for the show, so I can actually try out this mount and show it on stream and talk about it on the show and all that stuff. And I honestly probably would not have bought either bundle, or maybe I would have bought one of them because of the speed boost thing. But even that's kind of iffy. So, but if you do the numbers and you're, if you're willing to, if you're gonna stay subbed anyway, and if you like buying cartel coins occasionally, then the bundles are pretty well priced for that in US dollars. We'll talk about that in a sec. And then these cosmetic things and the speed boost speeders and all that just sort of become a bonus, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so Cal from Today and Tour said regional pricing for me puts the bundle at $150, which actually makes it more expensive here. So as much as I want the bundle, I can't afford $150 every 2 to 3 months that they make one of these new ones, as nice as the mountain dies are.
It's a chunk of change.
Yeah.
I get why people don't get it.
Yeah.
And why people don't buy it.
Right. And some of the other people were saying similar things. So, in US dollars, it might be, the math might math, but if you're also paying extra because of the way that they decide to make the pricing for other currencies, then yeah, it can quickly become sort of not worth it unless you really want the speeder and or the dies. If the cosmetics have a real value to you, then this bundle still may be the way to go, even at those higher prices. But yeah, yep. And we've talked about that sort of thing before. It is interesting. Like, so, the speeders are a little bit different. So the red one, the one that was available first, the speed boost happens the instant you mount up. It goes for 2 seconds, and then there's no more speed boost unless you dismount and remount, but there's a 10-second internal cooldown, so you can't just redo it over and over again. The yellow mount, for the Star Bolt, this one, you mount up, and instead it puts the temporary button in bar up on your screen, and then you push it when you want it. However, it has a longer 30-second cooldown instead of the 10-second internal cooldown. Both can be good. I've kind of gotten used to the firebolt already, so I've kind of stuck with that one. I don't mind dismounting and remounting because I have mount on the move and so on. So it works for me. But there are times though when having the yellow version is actually a little bit better. Like if where you're mounting is a little like twisty and and you don't necessarily want the speed boost right away because you're going to run into the walls. That's a time when it's actually better to have the yellow version. Another nice time to have the yellow version is if you're needing to time it when you're going to go past some enemies that you don't want to get knocked off your speeder on.
Yeah.
So yeah, having the little speed boost so you can time it precisely is pretty good.
Yeah,
nothing sucks worse than like dismounting, expecting to remount, to get the speed boost and go past a group, and then they aggro while you're trying to remount because you got too greedy.
Oh, right, and then you're stuck on the
and then you just have to fight them. How do the dies look? Yeah, I personally prefer the red ones to the current packs yellow ones. I get it how the mount is red, so they did red dies, and now the mount is yellow, so they're doing yellow dies. Nothing wrong with the yellow dyes. They actually look really sharp and very bright. Like it's a really nice lemony yellow color on most outfits. I would say that even though they're metallic, they don't seem to be as shiny. The shininess doesn't happen as much for me on this one. I think it has something to do with the fact that the color is very bright anyway. So whatever shininess the armor already had is gonna kind of show, even if it was a regular yellow dye, as opposed to this version. So I'm not, but it does increase the shininess, but it's a little more subtle than the red version, where you can see it a little more clearly.
Yeah. Also, I must say one of the things with the the bundles is that you are swimming in dyes, especially if you're an altaholic like chilling myself.
Right.
I have more dyes than I will ever be able to use. And I've been putting the yellow ones on like a companion armor and stuff like that. And it's legacy bound too. So
so you can move them around. Like if you want to make whole like trooper, squads that are all red or all yellow, it's very easy to do.
Yeah. And that's 10 die per character that you have and per character that you're ever going to make.
Right.
And then stack on top of that another 10 for the red. It's great. I like having more than I know what to do with.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Right. It's exactly. I'll never have to worry about primary red or yellow again. I mean, because
never,
shiny or not, I think most of the time I'm okay with it regardless. So
yeah. And not to mention when you're using like the dyes, sometimes some armor pieces won't look good with the primary color. So you'll switch it up to the secondary and vice versa. But if some of the armor needs some of that secondary dye, it really works well.
Right.
Like,
24.
You can really fill out your character's look with those dyes. Yeah.
24 during my stream sent me a screenshot of the secret agent outfit with the yellow dye, and I think you actually do the secondary, and the secondary is actually like the vest on the outside. Or the jacket on the outside, and it really looks nice that way. So the yellow dye really works well for that one. I'm sure there's tons of other examples, so you just kind of have to play around with it. But anyway, all right. Are we ready to move on to the Cantina talk?
Ready.
All right. So we're going to do the Cantina talk. This is an occasional segment. We don't do it every episode, but we do it occasionally, where we pick a voice actor from the literally hundreds who have voiced for SWTOR over the years. And we have a whole list of ones that we've done before. Too long for me to actually read anymore. I used to read them all out, and now it's like there's too many. We're not doing that anymore. This time it's Xanthe Elbrick, and this is an unusual one. We usually choose a voice actor from SWTOR because they have other interesting roles that people might know. That's sort of like one of the main things that we look for in someone to talk about, because it makes it interesting to talk about. However, Xanthe Elbrick is a little different because she is instead mainly a stage actress. So originally from England, she's done theater all over, but she's been in the U.S. for quite a while. She was nominated for a Tony Award in 2007 for her lead female performance in the Broadway version of the play Coram Boy. And she also had small roles in the movie Body of Lies and Into the Woods, so she's done some movies as well. She's also a photographer, at least as much as she is an actor, apparently, from what I've seen. She has an unusually small social media presence. Like, she has a Facebook page, but it's like a personal one, like not even like a business one. And she has like just a few very small social media accounts here and there. But we know her best as the female Inquisitor. So she is, and of course she's done others. Whenever you have someone doing a SWTOR big role, they usually give you a bunch of little bitty roles as well, and then she's done that. But her main role is, of course, the female Inquisitor. Fabulous job. Love it. That's why I chose the Inquisitor quote at the beginning. We are not cute, we are deadly. However, and the reason we chose her specifically, she was earlier this year diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer, and this is a limited amount of photography and other work she can do. And there's even a GoFund put up by her friend, so there is one of those you can look for. Unfortunate, so we wish her a successful recovery. She's recovering in New York somewhere. And also thanks to Shintar for her Blue Sky post, which let us know about this. So unfortunate that she's ill. Hopefully she does recover fully. And we love her as the female Inquisitor. I know, Kitty, you've done plenty of Inquisitors over the years, so have I, of course. But and I'm vamping a little bit because Kitty is doing something in the background.
Sorry, Nexu was meowing at me.
Oh,
yeah, I think the female Inquisitor voice is my overall favorite.
Wow.
Of all of them.
That's saying something too.
I just really like
She
I
has
don't know.
a nice,
I just like her voice a lot.
yeah. She puts an interesting spin on the voice choices she makes. Usually, she has a bit of a.
Right.
There's just a little hint of a purr in her voice. It's not like too aggressive, but it's like kind of just there.
She has like a sophistication to her voice, but also she sounds almost dangerous.
Yeah. And it makes sense. I mean, because she's actually from England, so she has the natural British accent, and she's a stage actress, so she's used to enunciating and emoting and putting forth the meaning and the emotion through her voice. So, yeah, so excellent work from Xanthe Elbrick, and we wish her choice. Yeah, we wish her a full speedy recovery. All right. That'll bring us to the holo feed. So yeah, so after episode 500, 501, the very next day there was the dev stream. So, but which is actually sometimes. Okay. It does work out sometimes, because sometimes there's like extra things that they find that they have to like clarify and stuff like that. So right now there's a Twitch drop active for Ilum art, and if you attach your Twitch account to your SWTOR account, you go to SWTOR.com, log into your account, and then you tell them what your Twitch account is, and then you watch 1 hour of SWTOR streamers. You'll get an Ilum art deco, and it'll be one for every character that you have and or make. However, it's about to be done, so
I haven't done it yet.
You can do it live today. You can do it today, Kitty, and then but it goes away tomorrow. So unfortunately, like people who are listening to the podcast as a podcast, because it goes out the next day, might be too late for you if you're seeing this live, or if you catch this on the YouTube, which we usually do put up in the same evening. You might still have time. If you do miss this, the poster 7.6, when that drops, probably on the 10th of December, there's going to be a new one. Instead of 1 hour, it'll be 4 hours, but instead of a poster, it's going to be an amethyst Volptilla mount. So that'll be pretty cool. And it had a really gorgeous picture. I can't wait to see it live in game. So there's several Volptilla mounts in the game. The amethyst one is going to be a purple one.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Really, really pretty looking. They did indicate that there's going to be something similar going on with the future. So when there's a dev stream, there's going to be one then, and then every update launch, there'll be a different one. And then the dev stream ones will again be 1 hour, just like this one is today for the Ilum poster deco. And then the game launch drops will again be 4 hours of SWTOR streamers, and will be something else. And they did not give an indication of what those future ones would be, but I presume it's going to be something similar, where it's going to be something a little more simple, like a poster deco for the dev stream one, and then something a little more substantial for the 4 hour one, like the Volptilla mount. Again, that's just me speculating based on what's going on this time and what they've done in the past as well. So yeah, so we can look forward to more in the future. This has been going on for a little bit as well. So there's that other mount that came out as before, and so on. So yeah, so that's going to keep being a thing, and it doesn't have to be like the official SWTOR dev stream. It can be anyone who's streaming in the SWTOR category. So just watch any SWTOR streamer, and you should, once you've attached your Twitch account to your SWTOR account, and you should be good to go. All right, so there's going to be Galactic Thread storyline, which we're going to mostly skip because we don't, we try to avoid spoilers. But anyway, there's going to be narrative content. There is a caveat, because even though the production is, as they said, well underway, so they don't have much to complete, but they are delaying the storyline until they can complete it. And they were a little vague on exactly what's going on. This again is me speculating, but there is a voice actor strike going on, so I presume that they're needing the go ahead with the voice acting strike to be completed before they can actually send out the thing. So basically, what they're trying to do is get everything ready to go, so the instant that they get the go ahead, they can just push a button and get the story out the door. That seems to be the case anyway. Again, no spoilers, but a lot of the people that we've seen before are going to be coming back. There's going to be, and this is going to be a continuation of some of main threads that we've seen picked up in the story recently. There's going to be some new Cartel Market editions, remote trading outpost bundle, Galaxy Edge inspired. So if you've been to Galaxy Edge, it'll have some things that look a little bit like that, which is pretty cool. It's also going to be a new type of deco bundle with essentially 2 full sets of decos plus 2 mini pets and some lightweight gameplay all involved. So there's going to be like an unrepaired version, like a messed up version, and then you can put all those down, and there's going to be a little bit of story involved, and at least one of those is cantina related. So you're going to have to repair the cantina and maybe some of the other pieces around. I'm not sure. Those are called neglected pieces, and then once you've done that little bit of story, that little bit of gameplay, then you get the repaired version as well. So you'll have an original sort of worn down one, and then a repaired version. You can use either kind, which is a really cool idea. And there's going to be a baby Dianoga and a D5CO disco droid are the 2 pets, and that sounds disco really awesome. Like, yeah. For me, like, because the decos have always just been about the decos, I haven't, I've either been interested or not been interested in them strictly based on exactly what those decos were and whether I thought I'd be using those and blah, blah, blah. This sort of interests me anyway, because first of all, pets are always fun, but also I'm curious to see what the little bit of gameplay and so on is, and then also to compare between the neglected and the repaired versions of these decos. For sure. Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, nothing like it in SWTOR before, so and loving it.
That gonk droid, the disco gonk droid, is hilarious looking.
Right.
It has a
little disco ball in it, and
inside the gonk body, there's a disco ball, but it also, I guess, plays music and lights up.
Right. It plays music for you. Yeah.
Isn't that wild? Looks so cool. It looks really
clever.
Cool.
Yeah. There's going to be some skeleton crew inspired armors and stuff coming on. For example, there's a mysterious rogue armor, and they have pictures of it. When you get it, there'll be variants with and without the jacket. So like one has a jacket over a shirt, and the other is just the shirt. So that's pretty cool. As well as the Fearless Buccaneer weapon set. So that's going to be coming out as well.
Very piratey looking, like our world old pirate style.
That's always fun, and it'll be I'm sure that I'll end up needing some of those or all of them. I mean, I've done pirate characters before, and I will probably do pirate characters in the future. So so they also talked about the Starbolt edition, which we've already talked about. That's the yellow speeder, the yellow dies, as well as some subtime and some 5,500 cartel coins, 888 subtime and 5,500 cartel coins. But we've already talked about that enough, so I think we can move on. There's also going to be some sort of die pack update, and they were a little vague about it, but apparently they're looking at ways to improve the functionality and accessibility to dies. And so because of that, there's a die sale, which we've mentioned, but apparently they said they're keeping the sale on for now, and they phrased it in a way that seemed to indicate that the sale would continue until these changes are implemented. So
that's what I got. Yeah, that's the way I understood it as well.
Yeah, so apparently, like, I would still, if you never know. So, I mean, definitely if you want a die that's on sale, just go ahead and grab it. But you do apparently have some time, and because we don't know how long it's going to take to implement this. It didn't sound like it was coming out with 7.6 like the other stuff.
No, I didn't get. As far as I understood, it was like
it was completely unclear to me what improving functionality and accessibility would include, or how that looks.
Right.
Hopefully it'll include some stacking.
Yeah. Well, also they were, like you said, they're very vague. They didn't tell us when the sale's going to go away, and 2, they really didn't tell us what they meant by
functionality
die
and accessibility.
Functionality. Is that the way the die looks? Is that the way the die works?
Right.
In the armor sets?
Maybe. So, yeah. Is there a way to pull out a die now where there never has been before?
That's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge. I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see.
We don't know. We're speculating. We're speculating.
Yeah,
ourselves.
We are speculating.
We do not know that we'll be able to pull out a die. In fact,
Nobody
I almost kind of
knows.
doubt it, because like part of the thing about the dies is that there's always a market for them because
exactly
they're one and done. So
that's exactly what I thought too. I thought, how could they make it so the dice are removable? Would cost them a lot of money because people buy dies all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
People sell dies, trade dies, all that kind of stuff.
It's a good crafting. It's a good crafting skill for artificers.
Exactly. So
yeah,
we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Exactly. So then Musco and Jackie talked about dynamic encounters, which we've also talked about on the show before because it is on the PTS. It's on Hoth and Tatooine. There's basically a ton of missions. You're going to get, there's a set amount of time for them, then they kind of go away and new ones randomly pop up. Sometimes it'll be the same ones, but there's enough of them that usually it's going to be very different ones. And then you can just go there, you kind of do that one in that area and you're kind of done. You can get experience if you're still leveling, but at end game you'll be getting tech points and comms. There's also several different types of them that will have special bonuses. Like there's ones that have potential for a pet, ones that have potential for a mount. I've seen some people who actually have gotten some of these. They were putting them up on social media.
Did? Interesting.
Yeah. One of the mounts looks really cool.
Cool.
Yeah. I decided not to include it in the show notes because, I wasn't able to really, it's not the sort of thing I can really confirm also. Yeah. And also could be a little spoilery.
When you said dynamic encounters, I heard the wow, 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 with Eric Musco and Jackie Coe. Wow, wow.
All right. And also when 7.6 drops and for an unknown, but sometime after that, there's going to be special dynamic encounters called hidden chain invasions. And those are specifically about stopping Helicol's ventures. Helicol's? Yeah.
Helical.
Yeah, I mistyped it in the show notes. I was typing so fast during this, and then I missed that during my go back through.
Anyway. Kermit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there's also some armor that will drop, and some of them you can get them from anywhere. Like they'll drop during any of the missions. But then there's some special armor sets that are only going to drop for the hidden chain versions of these missions.
They look really cool too.
Yeah, there's some interesting ones. So. It'd be nice to get those for sure. Yeah. So there's like a freckled Lothcat kitten pet, a desert sand mount, a frozen peaks mount. They actually talked about these, so I can actually include those. And there's tons of achievements, including, there's meta achievements on the PTS, and we'll briefly go over those, although we've talked about them before. Those will be 7.6 as well. There's also going to be the comm link, which is like a new way to interact. We've now seen that on the test server as well. It's basically like interacting with a terminal. It's very wordy. It's not usually spoken, but you can make choices and then continue having conversations. Whereas like mission terminals, it just kind of gives you some words and you just accept a mission or not. This one is a little more involved, where you can actually like have some sort of like conversation with someone on the other end by text, and then maybe it ends up with a mission. Presumably most of the time it ends up with a mission.
It looks very Knights of the Old Republic too.
Yeah.
Like the original game.
Right.
Looks like
yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Right. And it's a little more it looks actually has like some edge details and stuff like that. That makes it look more like a data pad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that was interesting to see. And yep. And they said specifically it's not meant to replace anything, and it's definitely not meant to replace convos or cinematics. Yeah.
Thank you, Shardbova. That's very nice.
Strike or no strike. The Propagator Core XR53 Lair boss is coming. They've been doing a bunch of balancing stuff on it. And since we're sort of coming to the end of the test server, we know that they did say at the end of the stream of their stream that they're looking at the 10th of December for the launch of 7.6. And which means probably the test server will be done like-ish a week before that or so, like that. So Sodoris saying, for example, she put out a little article saying, better to get it done sooner rather than later. And if you need a little bit of time, you might be able to go till like the first or second, but after that, you're really taking a chance that the test server will be just taken down by then. And it could happen before then, but she thinks it'll probably be till then.
I talked to her today, and she said the last day is the 1st, as far as she knows. So. Yeah.
It sounds about right based on history and stuff like that too.
Exactly.
They usually do take it down, a good week or so before.
Yeah, people have been taking that boss down too in vet mode. Which,
we're hoping to. We're hoping to for the guild, but it's iffy, especially since it's Thanksgiving week, and we may be struggling to get enough people there. But we're hoping, and we did reasonably well last time. We actually got it relatively low a couple of times. But we just
did you guys do it in vet mode?
Yeah, and we've beaten it a couple times in story mode already, so that was good.
Nice.
So we definitely have that achievement done. Let's see. There's going to be new augments, 3 new tiers of augments, and you're going to get the recipes from this Ilum boss, and then you need a lot of the stuff from the Ilum boss as well to make them. So the Ilum boss, like if you're interested in these augments, there's going to become a big part of your gameplay. Yes, a big part.
It's so funny. I purposefully do not min-max. I won't do it because I know that every time I get around to min-maxing, a new gear level comes out.
Right.
And I swear a week ago, I was like, all right, I'm going to start getting my my augments. Yeah. So I started making my augments, and then the week after they announced this. And I'm like, oh, all right, well, whatever.
Yep.
It's the way it is.
There's a little bit too much detail in terms of like, what materials are used with what augment. Yes. They do have posts about that. You can look them up on SWTOR.com, but it's too much to talk about on a podcast. So basically what you need to know is that the recipe, the blue recipes will drop. You're gonna make them, and then to get the next run, you're gonna have to make some and deconstruct them, and you have like a 20% chance, I believe. Forteries indicated that. Yeah, so that's gonna be really painful to try to get the harder level ones, and then basically I think the purple versions, the recipes actually come directly from the harder version of the boss, apparently.
Oh, okay.
But also every time story mode or veteran mode, you're going to get some of these materials that you're going to need for any version of these. And unfortunately, like the lowest level, like the one that you first get from them, they're good. They're really good, but they're actually not as good as some of the ones you can already make in the game. So unfortunately, you're really going to need to like get up to the next level and keep going.
Yeah, I took that as a W for myself. Like, okay, all right. Well,
one for the lazy, one for you and me, because I can't.
It's just
I try hard for like my operation character to get it as close as I can, but even she only has purple augments. I do not have gold augments on her at all.
Yeah, me too. I have purple augments, and it works great. Everything works fine, because I figure if I'm not doing the really difficult content, then it's really no need to min-max.
Right.
But I always do it every time. I go, all right, I'm swimming in tech frags. I might as well start buying the stuff. And then I started making them. I'm like, this comes out. And I'm like, geez. But oh, well, you know what? It's still fun. The chase is still fun. So,
and one other thing, not to get into too much detail, but one of the cool things is that like practically, I think all the different types of crafting there are going to be able to do something for the new augments. So even like biochem is going to make some of the basic stuff that ends up being used to make the final augment, stuff like that. So yeah, good stuff. Right. I think that's enough about the augments.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Giddy up.
So let's see. So there's some incentives for doing the PTS. Again, you have probably a few more days. We have not been given a definite last day, but 1st of December would not be a bad guess. 2nd of December. After that, you're kind of taking a chance. But you can get the first of many title if you defeat the boss on story mode. First among veterans title if you do the same on the veteran mode. You can get the cutting edge title and Kai Zyken's MK85 mount for doing the Republic encounters. For each planet, though, you have to do 25 on each, so that's 50 each. And then Strike Team Hero title and Kai Zyken's MK90 mount, 25 for each of the imp side of those 2 planets.
I'm going to be strutting like cock of the walk when I get that thing. I've wanted it for so long, and I missed out last time.
And if you do
ringing the bell.
If you do both of those, so you get 100 dynamic encounters done, 25 planet, each planet, Republic and Imperial, then you also get the Led the Charge title, the B1 SAL Droid Pit, and all the old PTS titles as well that haven't been available for a long time. Yep, 7.6 launch will also give us PvP 7, Season 7. It will run 16 weeks, apparently. It's called Path to Mastery, and I think that's enough on that, probably. I'll be interested to see more once it's live.
Chicken suit.
Yeah, exactly. However, there's a couple of interesting things for PvP that they're doing. One is Warzone matchmaking, so you can group up with only 4 players, not 8. Interesting, because it used to be that you could have a full pre-made of 8, and it tended to run over. And if the other team was not a pre-made 8, they tended to get run over. Now it'll be you can't do that directly. You may end if you have 2 buddy groups of 4, you might end up on the same team. I'm gonna guess you're more often than not you're gonna be on the opposite team. But hey, because the game does does take that into account, like whether you have grouped up people or not. And so interesting. I've personally, for the more not quite so hardcore person like Kitty and myself, I think that's much better. And then also certain set bonuses on level 75 armor will be disabled in Warzones.
How do you dance? What's your dance?
Oh, I don't. I did it just sort of naturally, so I have no idea what I did.
I'm happy about it.
So Kitty's talking about Kitty Treats was actually watching my stream, and I just happened to do this little weird thing during a loading screen, kind of like while I was just trying to not thinking at all, and she clipped it. So it's on my Twitch stream, and KittyKissz uses it as well. It's really hilarious.
Yeah, I have a sounder of it.
It's wonderfully dumb.
I'm gonna put the sounder on my road, and then
nice.
Next time I'll just be able to click it and. But yeah.
So anyway,
sorry.
Yeah. So also set bonus effects on level 75 spoils of gear, war gear will be disabled. Boop, 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 boop. So yeah, so that'll be helpful as well. Like, yes, 75 min maxers, who don't resub and they've got super crazy gear for 75 is going to make high build still hard, but at least it'll some of it, a little bit of the power will be taken away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that too.
Me too.
Yeah. And let's see. So there'll be an honorable bow emote. I think that'll be interesting. And some other good stuff. Honorable. The plume scout armor. Yeah, the honorable bow. It's kind of right. It's like a martial arts bow with the fist in hand, and then you kind of go forward. Yeah, Pathfinder is a legacy title. It's kind of an interesting one. As I don't know about Master of Paths personally, but maybe you like it. Plume scout armor and plume trapper armor, both are on the track. Feathered ranger armor, feathered hunt master armor on the vendors. So there you go. And then and then some trophies and usual stuff like that. Life Day is going to be coming as well. That's the winter seasonal event. It'll begin on December 10th. So apparently the 7.6 drop, but we'll see. And of course, there's throwing the snowballs. There'll be snowballs being thrown all over the place, but there'll also be a couple of new rewards coming with the 7.6 version, the Tursa G1 F7 mount, and ornate Life Day robes. So we've seen the Life Day robes before. This was like an ornate version. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Let's see, Best View and SWTOR finalists. The winners will be announced soonish, they said. And then the winners will have their shot made into a special deco with gold versions, gold outside versions. And then the regular one will be on the anniversary vendor. So lots of good stuff.
Free.
Yeah. Well, basically free. I think it's like one credit or something like that.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Or maybe it'll be more. I don't know. I thought it would be like the typical anniversary version thing, but I guess they didn't really say one way or the other. Maybe they did. It's possible. I was taking so many notes. I may have missed that detail.
I just think of people going,
but keep your eye out for it. And a lot of the decos really look nice. And the shots, they showed some of the finalists at the end of the stream. It was really, really lovely.
Yeah. They did a good job.
And there's also another skeleton crew item incoming, and it's going to be it's going to have your companion and mini pet joining you, because it's going to be the Mirim Cicada mount.
Woo!
It's going to be a sub reward, so you have an active sub between November 9th and January 4th, and it'll only be available if you're subbed during that time. When 7.6 launches, even though that's going to be after November 29th, as soon as 7.6 drops, you'll get it. And it is a mount that also shows your active companion, and if you have a mini pet, your mini pet joining you on the mount. That's really cool. And I could totally see using that for like certain cosplays and stuff, like if I was doing a cosplay with a character that was well known for having a pet or something, keep the pet out or whatever. That's totally makes sense. It's really cool.
Droid back there.
Yeah. And it sounds like that there's something that they're wanting to do in general, is to do more of these sorts of mounts, really cool, where you can either have a pet or have a mount on it. There is going to be a character name purge. They've only done this like once before. It was a few years ago. Basically, the idea is that, if someone has a cool name, but they haven't played the game in 5 years, at some point, they make the names available again. However, if you're an active subscriber, you will not be impacted. So if you have an active subscriber, you don't have to do anything. Your names are 100% safe, regardless of how long you've been on a particular character or not. However, if you're free or preferred and you want to make sure your characters names don't get up for grabs, then log in on them before the 7.6 launch. Because basically, if they haven't been logged on since January 1st of this year, then those names become up for grabs. So you can either sub, or if you're not, but you want to make sure to 100% keep the names, then just make sure to log on to every character you want to keep the name of before the 7.6 launch. And just because, by the way, just because it unlocks doesn't mean you're going to lose that name right away. It just means that other people might take it. And if they do take it, then you're going to have to pick a different one. But basically what's going to happen is your character, you're going to log onto that character, and it's going to, it'll probably ask you for a rename. You can either try the same name, but then it might or might not be available. But it very well might be, especially if you have slightly unusual name choices. If you have something that's a little more simple, or maybe more related to Star Wars, or Star Wars characters or something, those are going to go, those might well get snapped up by someone. So anyway, but if you want to avoid it, just log onto those characters before 7.6.
Also, if your name does get taken and you have to make a new one, it's not going to cost you anything to make a new name. It's free. Yeah,
some people are saying, "Ooh, free name change."
That is true. Yeah, it could be a free name change for you.
Yeah, and I noticed in chat that they called the name purge "Execute Order 7.6."
Yeah, that was funny.
All the names are going to go away.
Yeah.
At least, or a lot of them will. All right, and they're also doing planetary art monetization in Ilum and other places. Tython, Korriban, Ilum, Hoth are the ones they're doing this time. They've done Hutta and other places before, Voss. Very cool. And finally, the modernization update. So the goal was to improve the fidelity of the characters across the game while keeping your character uniquely yours. And they targeted character textures, ocular, specularity, lighting, and shader improvements. And the character texture modernization will apply to human, Chiss, cyborgs, Miralukan, Miriellen, Togruta, Ratataki, and Zabrex. So there's a few of them like Twi'leks and Cathar that did not get included this time round. One of the other things that includes is eye lights. So there will be actual eye lights in your character's eyes where there wasn't before, and I've noticed that it really does kind of make a difference when I see it on the test server. It really does make a difference. There was a shader issue on the actual skin textures, so they weren't showing the light properly bouncing off, so it made the characters look sort of gaunt and older. That was just a shader bug. I know there was a lot of freaking out about it on the social medias. I saw it on several different social medias. A lot of people were freaking out about them. That wasn't the intended look. And they've actually now done the updated shader version. And I looked at like my character, on live and then on the test server, and it's basically exactly the same character, just with slightly different, slightly improved looks. Like it does look like the same person too. They didn't like change the shape of her face wildly or anything like that. It just is higher texture. It's really nice. So don't freak out if you see one of these posts about like, all my characters look old, and there's a different one where like all my characters' muscles are gone. That was another thing that needed to get fixed and got fixed. So yeah, because like there was a thing where like the muscles are sort of there, but they were kind of flattened out for some reason. That was another thing. That was another thing that got fixed, or whatever the bug that was causing that got replaced. So your muscles will be fine too. All right, we've already talked about the Starbolt thing, and we just talked about the recap, so we don't need the recap really. Let's see, I think. So one other thing about completing the meta achievement for the Tatooine Health Encounters will give you the Desert Sand and Frozen Peaks mounts, and this can be another mount that actually has your pet on the backside. So it won't have the companion like that other one, but if you do complete the meta achievement for the Tatooine and the Hoth Encounters, you'll get the Desert Sand and the Frozen Peak mounts, and they're basically like these stand-up mounts, and then on the back is like this little ledge, and your pet will show up there, which is really cool.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like a load lifter almost.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the Tursa G1 F7 mount is like one of those wide sort of taxi cab kind of mounts, but it has a bunch of gifts piled up.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the ornate robes. I liked how they showed the two mounts that you could get without the pets at first, and then later on they turned them around, showed them with the pets on them.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fun.
I have so many tokens for Life Day. I'll probably be able to buy all that stuff right away, which makes me happy.
Yep. Let me see what else we need to talk, because a lot of this is sort of like they put a lot of posts and stuff like that are sort of like things that we've already talked about.
We talked about.
They've been a lot of changes to the veteran mode, like trying to get things to balance, and the veteran mode especially is a little tricky. Like I don't think I fully understand exactly how it works yet. There's certain circles that you either need to be in or be out of, and it kind of depends on these stacks that you've got on you. Yeah, it's not
like a nightmare.
It's not easy. Yeah, there's also a really good post by Bryant Wood about the new augments, but again, that's the sort of thing that does not go well, and you can't do well in a podcast. So go look that up if you're really interested in the augments. That's definitely something to go do. We already talked about the shader bug being fixed. There's a Steam Deck launcher issue, or at least there was. So what Jackie said is that what is happening with the launcher on the PTS? Well, we've been upgrading our launcher and patching the tech over the last few years as the old launcher tech is outdated and rapidly becoming unsupportable. With our recent PTS iterations, we rolled out an upgraded Steam launcher to keep parity between it and the non-Steam launcher. But unfortunately, the Steam version does not work on a Steam Deck. So, and a lot of people apparently use Steam Deck if they're doing it through Steam. I actually don't use Steam personally, so I don't know. But that's what I understand. So what they're going to do is they're going to continue testing this Steam launcher on the PTS. This will, it temporarily was blocking people who are using Steam Deck. But as a result, they will not roll out the launcher change with the 7.6 game update because they don't want to cause troubles with the actual live server. So they're working on getting some launcher updates going. And yeah, at least temporarily it was causing an issue with people who are using Steam Deck. So, so there's that. Final PTS build is now here. So there's a few more days on this. And when you say final build coming, you know that's only a few days and then it's going to go away.
Yep.
Another indication that Sweaterista is probably correct in about 12.1 will probably be roughly the last day of the test server. Give it a few days anyway. There was a few polishes for the dynamic encounters, some story and veteran mode updates again. However, one thing she noticed is that the final art for the boss itself will not be seen until 7.6 goes live. I'll be interested in seeing that because they do have sort of this, the boss does look a little weird. It's like a little unshaded. It kind of looks like all one color. There doesn't seem to be any legs, so we're not sure if it's like, if it's on little rockets or if it's got weird legs, mechanical legs. I mean, it is a droid of some stripe, but we don't know exactly what it's going to look like. But yeah, it looks a little bizarre right now. I don't know why that strikes me as funny. Yeah, right now it's just kind of hovering in midair with like this sort of like these broken off, or not broken off exactly, just sort of like cylindrical cut offs, kind of there hanging underneath it. So we have no idea what it's actually supposed to look like. No, but yeah. They did for the final PTS. Apparently, they have fixed the softened muscle definition, so that one is now done. So all good. Wrinkles under eyes. I could use that in real life, please. Wrinkles under eyes were more pronounced when low shader setting was applied. Players will see in this PTS build that the wrinkles in that area will be significantly lessened. Wrinkles have been adjusted for characters seen during gameplay to appear in parity with characters shown in cinematics. Scar customizations have updated to appear more in line with the character's skin color. So lots of little changes. And they still have known issues, and she goes over some of those too, but what are you going to do? Let's see. We've already talked about that. So yeah, once again, you have just basically tonight to get the Ilum deck go. If you're hearing this on the 28th, sorry, it's too late for that one, but when 7.6 drops, if you watch 4 hours of SWTOR streams from any SWTOR streamer, once you've attached your Twitch account to your SWTOR account, then the Amethyst Voltilum mount will be available for all your characters. A couple of other things just kind of going on. So Teresa did a really nice article of the various rewards available for the PTS. We have a link in our show notes. So if you want to know like what you can get for doing stuff on the PTS and how you get it, definitely a great place to go is Teresa's article. And finally, Gameology did an interview with David Hayter, who is the male Jedi Knight voice in SWTOR. And he did a pretty nice, like 10 to 15, I can't remember exactly how long it was. I did watch the whole thing, but for some reason the length is not sticking with me. It's like 10, 15, 20 minutes. Really nice art thing. It's on YouTube. Again, if you look up YouTube, Gameology, David Hayter, SWTOR, something like that, you'll be able to find it. We also have a link in our show notes. He talks about like how the recording happens, because like basically what they do is they just sort of say, hey, we're going to be doing another recording, and then they just kind of work out with him depending on where he is and what he's doing, because he's an actor, but he's also a producer. He does producer director, so he has a lot of hats and he's doing a lot of things, and he can be really weird places all around. So sometimes he just has to figure out where they're going to do it, and they just they say, hey, you're in this city, okay, we've got a place we can go, and then he sends them off to a little place that has an audio recording place. Yeah, really cool. He also talks a little bit about how he does the acting with it and how it's different, because you have to do it like line by line because of the way that the conversations are laid out. You can't just act a whole scene. You have to do it for every line. Really interesting stuff. Really good stuff. So David Hayter, male Jedi Knight voice. Check that out, Gameology. It's on YouTube. And yeah, there we go. So then we'll go to the force feedback. And Tio said, hail and well met, Chill and Kitty. Yeah, this is the former co-host, first co-host of OotiniCast. He says, congratulations on reaching 500 episodes. This is truly a monumental achievement. I'm pretty sure we didn't imagine it would endure for this long when we first started the show on 19th November 2011, nearly 13 years ago to the day when he wrote this, not long before SWTOR's launch. It warms my heart to see the show still going strong along with Star Wars The Old Republic itself. The game may have changed studios, but it's still as awesome as ever, and it's great to see it continue to grow with expansion and patches. When I want a hit of the truly authentic Star Wars experience, I know which game I'll go back and play. Nothing's really come close after all these years. And after the sequel trilogy, I find myself preferring the glory days of The Old Republic. So, little drive-by there, but hey, it's all good. I wish you both the best and for many more shows to come. May the Force be with you and or serve you well. Thank you, Tio.
Hey,
appreciate
thank you,
it.
Tio.
And we still love you and miss you, and we know that things are going well for him down in Australia. It's all good. So thanks for writing in. I appreciate it, Tio.
Yeah, thanks, Tio. That's sweet of you.
And anything else, Kitty?
Yeah, I thought we would share our Blue Sky social account.
Okay.
Just in case anybody didn't have it, I'm going to pop it into chat there. That's it's kind of like Twitch. In fact, it's very much like Twitch, but it's not.
Right.
Twitter. It's not like Twitter. It's
not like Twitch.
It's
like
less
Twitter.
Toxic, less bull crap and all that. But
that's true.
We got an account there. Go over there, give us a follow if you'd like, and all that good stuff.
Yep.
And tomorrow, I will be doing a all-day Thanksgiving Day stream. So if you don't have anywhere that you need to be, come chill with me.
Yeah,
and Nexu and Kitty Treats. So, yeah, come on over.
Excellent. So, yeah, big full day Thanksgiving stream with Kitty. That sounds awesome. And I think that's a show. If you'd like to play with us in the Ootini Knights Guild on the Republic side of the Teal Sean server, or in our
Ootini Rage
Guild on the Empire side, do a /C join Ootini to join the Ootini channel. Then let us know you're a fan of the show. You can email questions and comments about the show to OotiniCast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter using @OotiniCast, Mastodon at OotiniCast @Mastodon.world, and we do have an OotiniCast Blue Sky as well. You can find contact details for us on our website, OotiniCast.com, which includes how to subscribe using iTunes and the rest. We record the show live bi-weekly, Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, streaming at twitch.tv/OotiniCast. Our theme song is Doomsday by Jean-Paul Zogby. And thank you to the chat room.
Thanks for being here, chat. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Absolutely,
We'll see you later.
And one thing before we go is that currently Blue Sky does not do polls, so we're not able to do the Mind Trap poll there. For now, it is strictly going to be on X and on Mastodon. But we will add it to Blue Sky as soon as it becomes available there. And yeah, we'll see you next show. Okay, Kitty. And is there someplace you think we should raid? Let me get over
whatever
to the
is
place
out
where I can
there.
actually raid. Okay, let me take a quick look here then. Go to the stream manager. Okay. Let's see.
It's on. Oops.
Actually, let me do following same category and just see what shows up. Okay. We'll just do same category then. Actually, not that I'm following any right now. Let's try... let's see.
Star Wars The Old Republic.
How about Ajax? That looks interesting.
Sounds good.
All right, so we'll send folks off there and check him out. I might do a follow as well. Thank you for coming, and yeah, so there we go. Thanks for coming.
Bye, everybody.
We go. Okay, and stopping the stream. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Stopping the stream. Stop.